Hello class, welcome back sa ating video lecture on Chapter 11, Information System Development and Programming Language. Now, ang focus ng ating video lecture is more on the programming language. Pero ang ginawa ko dito ay pineksi ko ito. May portion na kinat ko para ilipat ko na lang ito sa susunod na video lecture. Of course, maaring tanungin ninyo ako, sir, ano naman ang pakialam namin sa programming language? Hindi naman kami mga computer students or mga IT students. Yes, I know and I really understand. Even I myself is not, hindi po ako expert sa programming language. But because we are dealing with information system development, hindi naman tayo yung mga magde-develop ng information system, pero on the part of the users, yun yung ating involvement. And later on, by next year, pag pinag-usapan naman natin or naman pag natackle na ninyo yung auditing in the CIS environment, ang involvement naman ninyo is maaring on the part of the auditor. Okay, so basically, ang gagawin natin ngayon is simply an FYI for your information, for our reference, pang study materials. Okay, so sabi ko nga, kinat ko yung discussion. Ang pag-uusapan lang muna natin dito ay yung first, second, and third generation programming language. Okay? Kasi syempre, when we develop an information system, meron tayong coding dyan na ginagawa for the part of our IT professionals, ang ating mga systems developer. So that on their part, we have to understand that for them to create the system that we want, as users to use later on, they have to develop a program. They have to develop that information system. The basis for them to develop such is what we call the programming language. Kasi ito yung mga instructions, na gagamitin nila para ma-develop kung ano ba yung gusto nating interface, kung ano ba yung gusto nating system na gagamitin. Okay, when we are talking of a computer program, it is a series of instructions. Ito ang binabasa ko, yung pangalawa na short paragraph here, that directs a computer to perform tasks. Alam naman natin na yung computer, tagasunod lang yan, di ba? Kung ano yung inutos mo, gagawin niya yan. Provided that it follows the set of instructions that is given to that computer. So, the computer program tells the computer what to do. Okay? Now, yung programmer or otherwise known as the developer, ito yung gumagawa ng mga computer programs. Okay? Minomodify or kinocodify niya ito. Okay? Now, para makapag-create ng isang program, ang isang programmer, paano niya ito ginagawa? He or she writes or code, tawag natin diyan sa computer, sa code, sa programming is coding, yung pagsusulat ng program instructions sa pamamagitan ng isang programming language. Well, ang programming language nakadepende yan sa klase ng language, yung mga lumang versions, yung mga first, second generation, medyo machine dependent ito. But in general, when we are talking of a programming language, it is a set of words or abbreviations or symbols or instructions, that enables a programmer to communicate those instructions to the computer. Other times, programmers use a program development tool. Kaya nga ang tawag natin dito, parang ang subheading natin dito ay programming languages and program development tools para makapag-create ng program. Now, a program that provides a user-friendly environment for building programs often is called a program development tool. Okay? And the programmers use a variety of programming language and tools para makapag-create ng program. Of course, nag-i-evolve kasi, di ba, ang panahon, pati yung mga nalalaman nila, kaya nag-i-improve din ang programming. So, medyo sa mga panahon natin ngayon, mas nagiging user-friendly ito, hindi siya ganoon ka machine dependent. Now, before, in the past, medyo low end siya. Kaya nga yung programming language, dalawang klase po 'yan. Meron tayo ng low level, meron din tayo ng high level. Pag sinabi natin class na low level, mga machine dependent 'yan. Ito yung nababanggit ko kanina na machine dependent. Samantalang pag high level language, by contrast sabi dito, tapos hin-highlight ko na lang ito, that is machine independent. Ang ibig sabihin ng machine-independent language, pwede siyang tumakbo. It can run on many different types of computers and operating systems. Samantala kasi pag machine-dependent, ang difference naman yan is tumatakbo lang yan sa isang particular na klase ng computer. At hindi po yan pwede tumakbo sa ibang klase. Okay? Machine-dependent. Yung machine lang na yon, doon lang siya gumagana. Pag machine-independent, kahit saan pwede siyang mag-function. Okay. Now, meron tayong klase ng low-level languages. We have the machine language and then the assembly languages. Pag machine language, this is the first generation language. Okay? Or first generation programming language. Bakit first generation? Kasi if you can still recall, ang instructions, di ba, sa computer ay usually run by binary. Di ba? Familiar naman kayo sa 1-0. Okay? Yung mga binary digits. Yung machine language, they operate based on the binary digits na language instructions. 1 zeros. Kagaya ng makikita po ninyo dito. Or a combination of numbers and letters that represents binary digits. Okay? Kaya dito, makikita ninyo. Sir, akala ko ba binary digits lang? Bakit may mga letters dito? Kasi, hindi lamang po binary digits. Kung hindi, pwede pong combination ng numbers and letters na nagre-representa ng binary digits. Kaya meron tayo ditong letters and numbers other than 1 and 0. Okay? Yun nga lang, ang problema dito sa machine language is because this is tedious and time consuming. This one, matrabaho po yan at nakakaubos ng oras. But of course, in the past, yun na yung advance in their time. Sabihin natin ng mga 70 years ago, during mga 1950s, 1960s, yun na yung advanced technology at their time. So, yun po yung kanilang ginagamit. But of course, as the technology improves, so nagkakaroon ng mga improvement. And this is why meron tayong the second generation programming language, or this is what we call the assembly language. As compared doon sa machine language na gumagamit ng binary digits or numbers and letters that represents binary digits, dito naman, ang instructions dito, gumagamit ng mga symbols, symbolic addresses, or symbolic instruction codes, Let's say, A for, lagyan ko, i-highlight ko lang para makita po ninyo ito. Okay, let's say, ang letter A stands for addition. Yung letter C stands for compare. L stands for load, and M stands for multiply. So, yung mga characters na ito, yung mga symbols, meron siyang ibig sabihin. Okay. Now, sa assembly language, meron tayong tinatawag na source program. At yung source program na ito yung nagko-contain ng language instructions na nagtuturo sa computer kung ano yung gagawin. Okay? To convert this assembly language source program into machine language, programmers use a program na tinatawag natin na assembler. Okay? Yun nga lang po, kailangan dito ng conversion into a machine language. Kasi although assembly language ito, kinakailangan pa rin para tumakbo, mag-run yung program, kinakailangan natin ito i-convert into a machine language at gamit natin yung tinatawag natin na assembler. Ito po yung naka-highlight dito sa baba. Okay? Low-level language is composed of your machine language and then the assembly language. Now, meron tayong tinatawag naman na procedural language. Of course, this is a development, from the previous na machine language and then the assembly language. Nagkaroon naman tayo ng mga procedural. Okay? Ito yung tinatawag natin na third generation language. Kung yung machine language, first generation, yung assembly language, that is second generation, procedural language naman is a third generation. Kung yung machine language, binary digits, 1 and 0 and other letters or numbers that represents binary digits, samantalang yung assembly naman, more of symbolic instruction codes. Dito naman sa procedural language, we are using series of English-like words. Ito class yung hinighlight o yung binold ko dito. And it also uses arithmetic operations. For example, sa pagko-code, sa paggawa ng instructions, Yung add stands for addition. So maintindihan mo kasi English-like, no? Tapos, yung print stands for printing. Okay? So, mas ano siya, no? Mas understandable, mas comprehensible. Okay? And then, of course, halimbawa, ito. For multiplication, pwede niyang gamitin itong arithmetic operators na asterisk. Diba? Okay? Now, these English-like words and arithmetic symbols simplify the program development process for the programmer. So, nakikita ninyo yung progress from binaries to characters, to symbols, and then ngayon, English-like word. Now, kagaya ng assembly language na program, gumagamit din po ng source program ang 3GL code. Kasi i-convert pa rin ito sa machine language. Kasi yun nga lang, machine dependent po ito bago ma-execute yung program. Now, sabi dito, this translation process often is very complex. Complicated po. Mahirap siyang gawin, Because 3GL source program instructions translates into many machine language instructions. Okay? Kaya po, meron tayong ginagamit dito na either a compiler or an interpreter. So, pagdating sa programming language, meron tayong tinatawag na compiler at saka meron tayong tinatawag na interpreter. Ito po, class, yung representation nito. Okay? So, please check this one sa inyong mga times on your study. Pero, pwede nyo po itong maipause para makita ninyo. I hope makikita nyo nga lang ito pag naka big screen sa inyong mga devices. Pag sinabi natin na compiler, it is separate program po yan, hiwalay na program na ang ginagawa niya is i-convert niya yung 3GL na source program into machine language bago ito ma-execute. Parang yung assembler sa assembly language, okay? Ang compiler converts the source program from 3GL papunta sa machine language kasi machine dependent para mag-execute yung ginawang source program. Okay? The machine language version that results from compiling the 3GL, ang tawag doon ay object code or object program. Okay? The compiler stores the object code on storage media for execution later. Okay. Another one, meron tayong tinatawag na interpreter. Kabaligtaran ng compiler, this translates and executes one statement at a time. Ito, one by one. Paunti-unti. The interpreter, binabasa niya yung code statement, kino-convert niya ito from one or more machine language instructions, then i-execute niya yan bago siya mag-move on doon sa susunod na code. Okay? Ang kagandahan nito, class, is because pwede niya makita yung mga errors. Okay? So, kung sakali doon sa isang line, ng instructions, may makita siyang mali. So, it will display feedback agad doon sa programmer at mako-correct ito bago mag-proceed sa susunod na codes. Okay? So, pwedeng i-correct ito, ng programmer. Now, marami po ngayon yung mga procedural language na nakabase, marami pong mga, procedural language yung nag-exist. Pero, dalawa sa mga widely known, okay, pinaka nagamit, pinakasikat, ay yung tinatawag natin na C at saka yung COBOL. This one, the C at saka yung COBOL or Common Business Oriented Language. Okay, so ito yung dalawang pinaka-recognized na procedural language. Of course, ang pagiging famous nito yung nakatadhana, depende sa mga gumamit nito at saka yung mga naging references nila or yung mga connections din ng mga tao behind those, mga organizations behind. Ang C programming language, I know or maybe some or many of you have heard of the C programming language, and ito yung parang pinaka predecessor ng C#, C++. Okay, if you are familiar with those programming language. Now, this was developed in the early 1970s. So imagine 2020 na ngayon, so mga 50 years ago na ito, But the original purpose of the C programming language is for designing or for writing system software. Okay? Pero sa ngayon, sabi nga dito, today, many programs are written in C And C runs on almost any type of computer with any operating system. Pero if you can still recall yung ilan sa mga napag-usapan natin in previous chapters, no, most often it is used in Unix and Linux operating systems. Okay? That is C programming language. Ang COBOL naman, sabi ko nga, the common business-oriented language, kaya siya naging COBOL. Ang purpose naman nito is for business applications. Okay? Although, itong COBOL na ito, English-like statements. Papakita ko mamaya yung differences nitong C dito sa COBOL. Pero English-like statements din ito. Parang yung kanina na pinakita ko sa iyo na add, meaning add, print, meaning print, So medyo madali lang din itong intindihin. And this is especially useful for processing transactions kagaya ng mga payroll and billing, okay? On mainframe computers. Okay, so ito po ang difference nila. Yung nasa kaliwa, okay, ito ay C programming language, ito naman ay COBOL. Kung makikita ninyo dito and I hope nakikita po ninyo at malinaw ang inyong mga mata, dito sa programming language na C, so medyo mga naka-shortcut, yung ating codes, yung ating mga instructions. Unlike pag dito sa COBOL, maintindihan mo. Kasi halimbawa, ito po ang program na ito is to compute for the payroll, So halimbawa dito, compute regular time pay, multiply regular time hours by hourly pay rate, giving regular time pay. Tapos may mga iba pang set of instructions. So maiintindihan mo kasi English-like yung mga instructions. Samantalang dito sa C, programming language, compute regular time pay, RT underscore pay equals RT underscore hours times pay rates, So kung ikaw yung papipiliin, kung ikaw wala ka namang alam, hindi ka naman technical person, medyo maiintindihan mo ito. Halimbawa, ikaw ay isang auditor. So, mas maiintindihan mo ito, makaka-relate ka as compared dito, sa C programming language. Okay? Now, class, sabi ko nga, ikakat ko muna yung ating session. Okay? Hanggang dito muna itong video lecture na ito para makapag-focus naman tayo mamaya dahil ang pag-uusapan natin sa susunod ay additional programming and programming development tools pero object-oriented ito and then the 4th generation programming language. Okay, so hanggang dito muna tayo class para at least meron tayong segregation ng 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation languages. Now, if you have any questions or I know FYI ito, I don't really tawag nito, hindi ko necessarily kayo na i-mandate or require na dapat naiintindihan ninyo ito kasi that is more of a computer subject, But of course, since this is part of our curriculum or part of our subject, it is better na medyo ma-appreciate ninyo siya or maintindihan mo siya. Okay? But in case you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to assist you. Until then, for the next video lecture, bye-bye.